Somewhere in your 40s, something shifts. You start noticing things you've never had to think about before. Your belly gets a little softer and rounder. Your joints feel a little stiffer. Your energy is low and you feel drained way too often. You feel weak when you work out, and that's if you work out at all. If you do, recovery is slower. What makes it worse isn't just the physical change, it's the disconnect between the way you feel inside and the body staring back at you in the mirror. They don't match. This gap, it eats away at your confidence, your motivation, and your overall sense of strength. But hear this, your body isn't broken. You're not too old, and none of this means your best years are behind you. What it does mean is that you're making excuses. You're accepting these changes. You're allowing the stress at work, responsibilities at home, commitments to your friends and family to trump the fact that you need to start taking better care of yourself. And if you're settling on quick fixes like caffeine, alcohol, or medications to get you through, without paying attention to the toll it is taking on your long-term health, then you're giving up. But this isn't the answer. The reality is you can reclaim much of the same strength, energy, and vitality that you had in your 20s and 30s. But it's not just going to happen automatically. Your body has different requirements now. It's time to start working with your biology, not against it. If you're still trying to train, eat, sleep, and live the way you did at 25, you're not using the right strategy. The good news is this: rebuilding strength, losing fat, restoring energy, and feeling powerful again doesn't take perfection. It doesn't take extreme routines. It doesn't take hours in the gym. It takes mastering the 10 essential fundamentals of health. These fundamentals are the foundation for rebuilding a lean, strong, healthy, capable body for decades to come. These 10 principles are what I'm giving you today. A complete roadmap designed specifically for men over 40 who refuse to settle and who are willing to implement the correct habits and rituals that will make the changes that they want. The first principle is your mindset. Before we talk about the specific tactics such as workouts, nutrition, or ways to boost your metabolism, we've got to talk about your mindset. Again, we're not looking for quick fixes. We're looking for a long-term strategy and mindset that will ensure any gains you make are here to last. I'm not talking about motivational quotes or hype. I'm talking about the identity you operate from every day. Most men try to get in shape with the mindset of, I'll try. I'll do it when things calm down. I just need to get motivated. But after 40, your body demands consistency, not perfection, not intensity, not extremes, but daily consistency. And consistency comes from identity, not willpower. If you see yourself as a guy who's trying to get healthier, you'll struggle. But when you shift into, I'm a man who takes care of his body, the actions follow naturally. Mindset is the anchor. It shapes your decisions, your discipline, your routines, and your resilience. When you fix your mindset, everything else becomes dramatically more manageable. So first and foremost, get your mind right. The next principle to getting leaner, healthier, and stronger is sleep. Sleep is the most powerful and most overlooked fat loss tool, especially for men over 40. Missing just 1 or 2 hours of sleep triggers a drop in testosterone, a rise in cortisol, increased appetite and cravings, slower recovery, and more belly fat storage. Over 40, you sleep differently than when you were in your 20s. Again, stress, work, family, pain, and nightly awakenings changes the landscape. Improving sleep is about creating a sleep-friendly routine and environment, a consistent bedtime, a dark, cool room, a pre-bed wind down, limiting caffeine and alcohol, and reducing screen time before bed. When you improve sleep, everything else becomes easier. Workouts feel better, cravings decrease, energy increases, belly fat becomes easier to lose. Sleep isn't optional, it's foundational. The third principle is nutrition. Nutrition for men over 40 is not about starving yourself or cutting out entire food groups. It's about eating in a way that supports muscle, energy, and steady blood sugar levels. The biggest issue most men face is not enough protein. Protein is the anchor nutrient for men over 40. It builds and maintains lean muscle, stabilizes hunger, helps control blood sugar. It improves metabolism, supports testosterone, and speeds recovery. Most guys eat 40 to 60 grams a day. You probably need double or triple that. When you center meals around high quality protein, everything else falls into place naturally. Fewer cravings, better energy, easier fat loss. I will go deeper into this in future videos because this is such an important principle. But the central idea is this: eat foods that help you function like a strong, capable, energetic man, not foods that feed cravings and slow you down. Principle number 4 is walking. Walking is one of the most powerful tools for men over 40, and it's almost always overlooked. Here's why it matters so much. Walking improves insulin sensitivity. It helps regulate hormones. It boosts mood, reduces stress, improves digestion, and gently burns calories without taxing your joints. Most men think fat loss requires intensity, but in your 40s and 50s and beyond, consistency beats intensity. Getting 10,000 steps in daily is life-changing. But even if you can't hit that number yet, short walking breaks after meals or a 10-minute morning walk can completely change your metabolism and energy levels. Walking is low impact, therefore joint friendly, and can be done every day. It is functional. It requires no equipment. It can be done almost anywhere. It increases metabolism and burns calories. Increasing steps means increasing your health and fitness. Ultimately, walking keeps you active without wearing you down, and it should be a daily anchor to improving your health. Number 5, daily metabolism boosters, also known as movement snacks. Aging isn't the problem. Inactivity is. Men over 40 often sit for 8 to 12 hours a day, and that slowly shuts down your metabolism, your circulation, and your mobility. Movement snacks are small bursts of activity woven into your day. 1 to 3 minutes of movement, 5 to 8 times per day. Think a quick stretch, a few body weight squats, walking up the stairs, a hip mobility drill, a set of 30 push-ups, a 1-minute plank, or 10 burpees. Just getting up every hour is beneficial. These tiny activities wake up the metabolism, relieve stiffness, increase energy, improve posture, and help manage blood sugar levels after meals. They also build momentum because movement begets movement. This is how busy men stay fit without spending hours in the gym. Principle number 6 is hydration. It is the simplest health upgrade that you can make. Hydration is one of the easiest ways to improve your energy and performance. Every cell in our body requires water for chemical and electrical reactions. Our body requires water, but most men don't realize how dehydrated they actually are. Even mild dehydration leads to fatigue, weak workouts, cravings, headaches, slower metabolism, poor joint lubrication, and decreased focus. As we age, our thirst signals weaken, which means you can be dehydrated without feeling thirsty. The goal isn't to chug gallons of water. It's to drink steadily throughout the day, especially around workouts and meals. Healthy hydration also supports digestion, skin health, circulation, and even hormone balance. It's one of the simplest principles, but because of our body's dependence on water, it is also one of the most impactful. Principle number 7 is mobility training. This is the key to restoring pain-free movement. Stiffness isn't about aging. It's about a lack of movement variety. Your hips, shoulders, spine, and ankles are meant to move through full ranges of motion. But years of sitting, repetitive patterns, and old injuries make the body tighter and weaker. Mobility training gives you freedom of movement, better posture, healthier joints. It reduces pain, allows for better workouts, and it protects against future injury. This isn't stretching, it's controlled movement, and it's one of the biggest difference makers for men who want to be strong and capable. A little mobility training goes a long way. Number 8, resistance training, which is rebuilding the engine. After 40, resistance training isn't about building a bodybuilder type of physique. It's about maintaining the engine that drives your metabolism, strength, and confidence. Men lose muscle at 3 to 8% per decade after 40, unless they train. And when muscle drops, metabolism drops. Resistance training gives you more strength, less belly fat, higher testosterone levels, better posture, more resilience, improved balance, reduced risk of injury, a more athletic, capable body. This doesn't have to be heavy lifting or long sessions. Joint-friendly, well-structured routines 2 to 3 days per week can completely transform your body. Number 9 is managing stress. Stress isn't just mental, it's hormonal. When stress stays high, cortisol levels stay high. And chronically elevated cortisol increases belly fat, it disrupts your sleep, it lowers your testosterone, it raises food cravings, and it slows recovery. For men over 40, life stress, career, finances, family, they all add up fast. You can't eliminate stress, but you can learn how to manage it. Stress reduction practices don't need to be complicated. They can be as simple as breathing exercises, light walking, morning sunlight, journaling, creating quiet time, and limiting evening stimulation to improve sleep. A calmer nervous system creates a healthier, more responsive body. Principle number 10 is supplements, which help to ensure macro and micronutrient needs are met. Supplements should never replace good habits, but they can support them. After 40, certain nutrients become more important due to changes in digestion, sleep patterns, stress, and recovery. Useful supplements may include creatine for strength and energy, magnesium for sleep and stress, vitamin D for hormones and immunity, omega-3s for inflammation, and protein powder for making sure that you reach your protein goals. The goal is not to stack a dozen supplemental products. It's to fill the gaps your lifestyle or nutrition might be missing. These 10 principles work together. They're the blueprint for staying lean, strong, mobile, energetic, and confident as you age. You don't need to master everything at once. Just pick one principle and make tiny improvements and keep stacking those wins. If you want deeper guidance on each of these, make sure you subscribe because I'm creating full detailed videos on each of these principles to help you build the strongest version of yourself.